I'm going to be making some UV resin keychains today using this coloured UV resin keychain starter kit that Let's Resin have very kindly sent me out to try. So let's see what's in the box. First of all, you get a user manual, which is always the case with Let's Resin, so that's lovely, very nice and detailed. That simple pictures, easy to follow. And we've got quite a lot of gloves, lovely. And what's these? I think these are for opening the bottles. And we've got some silicone moulds. Pop these out. Let's just get all of those out first. So lots of lovely shapes there. Circles, teardrop, hearts, flowers. Oh, cute little bone. That'd be nice for little dog tags, wouldn't it, with with your phone number on. Right, what else have we got? We've got some metal open bezels here. Got a lovely flower. Put those there. Hearts, another flower, some more hearts. How many? What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've got 6 hearts. And oh, lovely pretty rose. Looks like the English rose, doesn't it, that one? So we've got a rose, we've got that one. They're pretty. And then that one. So they're ever so pretty, aren't they? And a nice size as well. Love those. They look really lovely. Right, what else is in here? We've got some jump rings, 2 different sizes. So the bigger ones for the flowers, smaller ones for the hearts. Lovely. We've got some tweezers and a little tool there. And what else have we got? Oh, you've got the keychain rings here as well. That's nice. They're all ready to go. And we've got some damming tape. Excellent. Obviously, we've got the coloured UV resin. So we've got how many colours? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the nozzles. And you also get a little UV resin light. How cool is that? Let's get this out and have a look. Charger. Get your manual in there for that as well. Lovely. Let's have a look at this. Oh, isn't that cute? Oh, it's got little flip legs. Lovely. And you've got 60 seconds, 90 seconds and 150 seconds and your USB charger. So let's get that plugged in and then we can get started. I've opened up all the bottles of the UV resin using the nifty little gadget that comes with it. So they're all ready and we've got some lovely colours in here. We've got royal blue, red, pink, purple, orchid, blue and yellow, and we've got brown, white, orange and black. So I think we'll start off by doing this lovely rose here. That's got a lovely weight to it, that really nice. So let's put some of these to one side and then we can get this on the tape ready. So I'm just going to cut off a strip of this. Cut that off about there, I think. Oops. There we go. And I'm just going to fold over the ends, just so as I've got somewhere to hold it. And then pop that down in the centre of that tape. And I'm going to use just an acrylic block just to make sure that's pushed down on there nice and firmly. So let's get started with this one. I'm just going to pop some gloves on, and I think we'll do this rose in a nice traditional red. So I'm going to pop some of that into a pot and then add to that some red glitter. So let's pop some of that into there as well. Drop some of that in there. And then get that mixed in. And then we can just get that straight into those sections in the rose. Don't know what that stringy bit is. Let's get that. Oh, I think it's a hair that was on my stick. Right, and let's just get these all filled in. So I'll just pop you on a quick fast forward while I do this. So that's all the red filled in. So I'm now just going to use the lovely little lamp that comes with the kit, and I'm going to cure that for the 150 seconds. And now I'm going to go in with the green for the leaves. So let's just pop some of that into those little sections there. And then you can use this little tool that comes with the kit just to make sure that you've got it in all those areas. So let's just fill up the rest of this. Pop some of that bit there, that bit there. Tiny little section there. Pop any bubbles that you've got. That needs a little bit more in that one. And then pop that bubble there. And I'm just going to do the same with the other side and fill that in. And now I'm just going to flip that over and then cure it again from the back. So, oopsie days. So that's that one all done. So we just need to peel that off the tape now. Get the tape off of there. It comes off nice and easy. So there's our first one done. Beautiful. Love that. That's got a really lovely weight to it. Right, let's pop that one to one side. I think we'll do this one next, because there's 12 sections in there that we can colour in, and we've got 12 of the colours. So this will show nicely all the different colours. So same again, I'm just going to get some tape ready, and then we can work our way through all these lovely colours. So I think I'll start with the black and do a black centre. So popping some of that into there. Lovely. And next we'll do the orange. Some of that in that one there. Nice thin nozzles on these, so you can pop that straight in. Next we'll do the white. Pop that in there. And then we'll save the green for the leaves. I'm going to use the red. That can go in that one. Then we've got orchid. Let's put that one over here. And then we've got blue, royal blue, this one. Let's pop some of that into that one there. These colours are lovely. Then we've got, what else have we got here? Pink. Let's put some pink down in this one. And then we've got, let's do the brown down the bottom. Pop some of that into there. And then what have we got? 3 left. Well, 4 including the green. So this one's the yellow. Let's pop the yellow in there. It's looking very pretty. Then we've got purple. Let's put the purple in that one. And then lastly for the petals, we've got the blue. So that can go in there. Pretty. Let's just give that a quick torch with a long neck lighter. Pop any of those bubbles that might be there. And then I'll just fill in the leaves with the green. So I'll just do all these and then I'll see you back in a minute. So that's all our colours in now, and this little tool was really handy for getting into those tinier spaces round there. So let's just give that one last torch. Pop any of those bubbles that might be on the surface there, and then cure that for the 150 seconds. And then I'll turn it over and do 150 seconds on the back. That's that one all cured on both sides now. Pretty, I like that. Those colours are lovely, aren't they? Really nice. Let's peel that one off the back. There we go. Get rid of that bit of tape. Very nice. I like these. Right, so that's our rose and our flower. I think we'll do one last one of the flowers and then perhaps we'll move on to the hearts. So let's do this one. Looks like, I'm not very good with flowers, but I think that looks like little bluebells. So I'll get the tape ready and then we can do this one. So that's all stuck on the tape, and I have used the block again just to make sure we've got really good contact between that bezel and the tape. And I think I'm going to use both of the blues, the blue and the royal blue, for this. So I'm going to start off by adding some of the lighter blue down into the bottom sections. Down into there. Do these first, and then that one up there. And then I think I'm going to add some of the darker blue up the top. Pop some in there. Get a bit of a two-tone going on. And right, so we've got a smaller section up here. So I think I'm just going to pour some, or just squeeze some out onto my mat, and then use the tool just to dab that into there. Pop that in there. And the same with that little area there and there. So little dab of the resin in there. And then the same with that one there. And then just give these a little mix around. Blend in those colours a bit. It's looking pretty. Right, let's do the same with the lighter blue. Just squeeze some of that out. And then pop some of that into there, and then give that a little swish around. These need topping up a bit, so let's go back in with the darker blue. Put that in there. And then same again with the, let's use this bit here, save wasting it. Pop that into there. They're looking pretty. A bit more of that blue there. And then again, just give that a little swish around. Right, happy with those. So we're just going to give those a quick torch, just pop any bubbles, and then cure that for the 2 minutes or 150 seconds. And then we'll do the leaves with the green. So filling in those sections there. So again, the big sections you can just use straight with the nozzle, and then just use your tool just to make sure you've got them, or got the resin all the way to the edges there. So just need a bit down there, and then I'm just going to squeeze some out on my mat again, just to get that tiny little section down there. Get some in that bit. And then just need to fill up that section there. Get that all into there. Looking pretty. So these need topping up a little bit, just to bring them up to the top of that bezel a bit more. Pop that bubble. I think that one needs a little bit more down in there. Pop that bubble there. Right, okay, I think that one needs a bit more. Another little squidge in there. And then we pop those bubbles again with the long neck lighter. And then get that one cured. That's that one all finished. Love that, that's so pretty. So that's those 3 done. So there is 3 more of those, but I think we'll just stick with those 3 for today. And I think next we'll do a heart. So let's just get this ready on the tape. I've got 2 hearts ready, and I'm going to start off by putting some of the pink into a little pot. And then I'm going to add to that some of the Super Sparkle White from Tracy at Mini Scenes GB. So just going to pop some of that into there, and then get that mixed in. Gorgeous. And then just drop all of that into that heart. Pop all of that into there. Just going to start off with a thin layer to start with. Just get all of that round onto the edges. A little bit up the top there. Need a bit more. Get that last little bit out. And get that to the edges. There, that's looking pretty with that sparkle in there. Just add a little bit more, and then I'm just going to give that a torch, pop any bubbles, and then I've got some of these pink crushed glass bits, so I think I'm going to place some of those down into there as well. Drop some of those in that top corner. Don't mind if they're sticking up a little bit, stuck on the tape. It'll give it some dimension. Let's just add a few more down into there. Keep missing the heart. There we go. Let's just make sure they're all in place and they've all got some resin on them. And then I'm just going to cure that for 150 seconds. And then I'm going to top it up with the clear hard type UV resin from Let's Resin. So just going to add some of the clear onto there. And then just work that to the edges, making sure that's got a nice dome to it. And then give that a quick zap with the long neck lighter. Get rid of any bubbles there. And then cure that again. And for the next one, I'm going to use the red. Going to pop some of that into there, and then I'm going to add into that some of this chunkier glitter. This is red violet, and this has got a mixture of chunky and fine glitter. So let's pop some of that into there, get that mixed in, and then we'll do a layer of that in this other heart. It's looking nice and shiny. Just making sure we've got that all the way to the edges. Some down into that bottom section. It's looking pretty. Again, I'm just going to pop any bubbles with the lighter and then cure that. That's those two all cured, and I have been curing them both on both sides. So now with this one, I've got this little key charm, and it did have a little loop on the top, and I've snipped that off with a pair of snips. And next I'm just going to put another thin layer just of the clear resin on the top there, and then again making sure that I've got that all the way out to the edges. Get a nice dome going on there, and then I'm going to drop in, let's use those tweezers that came with the kit. Let's pop that into there. Lovely. And then cure that one, and again going to cure that on both sides. So that's those two finished, so they can come off of the sheet now. That's that one and that one. Got stuck to my glove. So there's those two, and that one, it's got like the see-through bits in it, which is really pretty. And although this is a keychain kit, I think that would be, or both of those would be quite nice as pendants. So I might make those into pendants later, or they could be like zip pulls, anything for these smaller ones. Right, so next I think we'll do a couple of these. I think we'll do that one and that one. So let's start with this one. And I've just realised that the tide's come in and I'm afloat, so my surface isn't level. So instead of doing my whole table, I'm just going to level off this little block here and then work off of that. So what colour should we do this one? I think for this one I've got all these tiny little dried flowers, So I think I'm going to use some clear resin in the bottom and just do a layer first of all with the clear, and then let's just work that to that top area there, and then pop those bubbles that are there. I think there's another little bubble there that's clinging to the bottom. All right, so we're going to get some bubbles in here anyway, I think, adding these flowers. Let's just, where's my lighter gone? Let's just pop that one there. And then let's drop in some of these flowers. I'm going to put them in upside down. So the other side will be the front. Let's pop a green one in. And we've got a nice pretty red one there. And that pink one can go up there. What else have we got? A yellow one. Let's put a yellow one in there. That's a different colour pink. Let's pop that one. Just got to make sure I get them the right way up. Pop that one in there. Little blue one. So I'm just going to carry on filling this all up with these flowers. So now that's all full, we're going to cure that for the 150 seconds. And now that's all cured, I'm going to use the white to back coat this all in. So let's fill it up with the white. Some of those flowers might stop it going under that little lip there, but we'll get it backed as much as we can with the white, and use this little tool again just to poke the resin down under that little lip there. You can see in places where the clear has already filled some of it up, but that's okay. Like there, it's already got clear there. Right, so let's just add a fraction more in there. And then give that a zap with the lighter, pop any bubbles, and then we'll cure that. And then I'll also do the other side as well. This is all cured now, so let's take a look and see how this one's looking. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Right, lovely. So let's do this one now, and I think this will be the last one. So for this one, I'm going to use the Let's Resin Rustic Gold, and I'm just going to use a brush and then just brush on this metallic mica powder all over the base of this one, and also up round the sides, making sure I get up in all those edges there. So now that's all covered with the gold, I think I'm gonna, let's just pop the lid on that one for a minute. I'm gonna use some sellotape and use the technique that Wendy from Chimpish Crafts showed us. And I'm just gonna, oh God, I should have taken my gloves off for this bit. And then I'm just going to dab on over the top of that gold that I've put on. Let's just take that glove off. And I'm just going to dab over all of this. And then that will expose that silicone. And then we can put another layer over the top of this, so it's nice and two-toned. So let's just get that off there, a little bit more over in that corner there. Lovely. Right, so next I'm going to use the bronze metallic powder and go over it again with the bronze. So we should get a lovely bronze and goldy colour showing through the other side. So I'm just making sure I get up those edges again, just in case the tape did take some of that off. Let's just get rid of any of that extra powder there. Right, so that's that all covered. And then I'm going to go in with the, where is it? The black. Where's the black gone? There it is. So I'm going to use the black and then just coat all of this in the black. I think I'll do this in 2 layers just to make sure it all cures okay. So just a thin layer first, and then just make sure I take that out to the edges and then round in between that little knobbly bit there. Right, that's that all covered. And then we're going to cure that. Now that layer's cured, we can go in with another layer. So just topping that up now. Just fill up the rest of around there. And again, just going to make sure that I've gone round that little whole bit there. Oh, fireworks going off outside. Right, there we go. Just going to give that a quick torch, pop any bubbles, and then again we're just going to cure that for 150 seconds. This is all cured up now, so let's pop this one out, see how it's looking. Lovely. You can see that two-tone on there with the gold and the copper. Next, I've got this little paw print charm. So I'm just going to put a layer over the top of the clear hard type resin. Just a thin coating of that on there. And then just going to work that out to the edges. Carefully going around that little loop at the top there. And then the rest of the sides. So that's all covered now. Just going to give that a quick torch with the cigarette lighter. Pop any bubbles. And then this little charm, I'm just going to place that. Oops. I'm just going to pop that down in that corner there. Just move that to where I want it. And then we're going to give that another final cure. That's that one all finished and cured now. So that one's looking lovely. Right, so I think we'll put some of these together now. So I think I'll do the rose. I'll do a couple on camera. I think I'll do that one and that one on camera, and then I'll do the others off camera and then come back and show you what they look like. So let's do this one first. And these large jump rings, well, and the little ones, they're really strong, really sturdy. I mean, there's a lot of jump rings that you buy that you could literally open just with your fingers, but not a chance with these. They are really strong and sturdy. So I'm going to pop that through there and then through there, and then use the pliers to get that back into the center. And you're definitely going to need pliers for that. They are really tough and strong. They are really lovely quality. And then I'm just going to use one of my own jump rings and just going to pop a little red tassel at the top of this one as well. So I can open that one up just using my fingers. And then I'm just going to pop that, I think I'll pop that through that link there. And then pop that on there. And then just close that back up again. So that's the first one done. Beautiful. Really lovely keychain starter kit this is from Let's Resin. So that's that one. And as I said earlier, I think that would make a really lovely pendant. So I've got a pinch bail here. So I'm just going to open that middle section up and then squeeze that through that hole there, squeeze it back together, and then I'm going to use a gold chain, open that up. Oh, that's tight. Just use my pliers to open that up, and then just pop that through that top bit there, close that back up. So that's that pendant. Really pretty. I like that. Right, so I'll just do all the others off camera and then I'll see you back in a minute. So that's all my keychains finished off with their tassels. And what a fabulous kit from Let's Resin. This coloured UV resin keychain starter kit is really lovely quality. So I've still got these 3 flowers left that I can do. They're really pretty. Still got 4 hearts left, and of course all the little molds I've made those 2, but there's still those 4 there that I've not even tried yet, and these you can just keep using these over and over. And I've still got the rest of my keychains there and my jump rings, and they are really sturdy jump rings. Really impressed with those. And loads more tape, and of course all the rest of my UV resin. And such an adorable little UV lamp. Love it. So I'll just quickly show you these. So that's that one finished off with a brown tassel. And we've got the pink heart with a little pink tassel. And if you want to get yourself this kit, there will be a link in my description box for that, and lots of other discount codes and bits and pieces in there as well, so help yourself to those. That's the little bluebells, so pretty, absolutely gorgeous. And of course that one that I made into a pendant. So thank you ever so much, Let's Resin, for sending me out this lovely kit to try out. I've thoroughly enjoyed using this today. So thank you ever so much for watching my video, and stay tuned for the pictures at the end, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.